Fire does not always destroy, it makes space for new roots. It is a hard truth wrapped in grace. Fire, whether it is heartbreak, burnout, or deep disappointment, can feel final. But sometimes it is just the clearing ground for something new, something divine. Meet Donna, a 40-year-old paramedic, wife to Thomas, and mother to lively 8-year-old twins, David and Davina. Donna's days were a blur of sirens, emergencies, and stretchers. At home, it was not much quieter. She was the sole breadwinner, carrying both the emotional and financial weight. And somewhere along the way, she felt invisible, unseen, unappreciated, just used. She wanted to move to the countryside, to breathe fresh air, but even her dreams felt buried beneath responsibilities. Then came the night shift that led to an unexpected overnight stay in hospital, not as a medic, but a patient. Fatigue had taken its toll. Alone in a quiet hospital corridor, Donna heard something she could not explain, yet knew in her bones. You are not forgotten. You are still useful to me. That was her turning point. The fire did not consume her. It broke something open inside her. The bitterness began to lift. She wept. She repented. She released the resentment she had carried for years towards her husband and herself. A few weeks later, when she felt able to share it without becoming emotional, had checked and double-checked her heart, she told Thomas how she really had felt. They cried together, and for the first time in years, they saw each other, not just as co-parents or financial partners, but as two broken people choosing to love anyway. Thomas also had some good news of his own. He had been offered part-time work, and together they talked about how everything was quietly changing. They wanted more, to improve for themselves and the family. They discussed options and settled on joining a support group. They talked more, prayed more, and then something small yet beautiful started to happening. They were seeing the people they were becoming. A month later, gospel music began to drift through the cracked kitchen window from the new neighbors next door. It softened her spirit. And as she chopped fruit to welcome the new family, she realized, I am being made new too. She realized that fire does not always destroy. Sometimes it clears the ground for deeper roots. Can you see how God might be using your fire to grow something new? She gazed up, and her eyes rested on the plaque hanging before her, and she whispered, I am useful to the Master and prepared for every good work. Everyone, thank you for your time and attention today. If this word spoke to your heart and you want to respond, I would love to hear your story, your questions, or your prayer requests. Leave your comments here. Until next time, stay rooted, stay seen, and step forward with your eyes on the horizon. Whisper this prayer with, Lord, thank you for reminding me that fire does not always destroy. Sometimes it reveals what was buried beneath the surface: hope, love, purpose. Thank you for seeing me when I felt unseen, for whispering life into dry places. Heal every space in me that has been scorched by disappointment. Forgive the bitterness I have nursed and the silence I have hidden within. I surrender every weight I have carried alone and invite your spirit to make me useful again, not just in my career, but in my home, in my faith, and in my relationships. Let the roots you have planted in this new soil grow strong and deep. Make me profitable in your kingdom, Lord. Amen.